Welcome back to the 128 Gaming Podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
And the demand is so lacking that we're going to spend all our money on all the games all the time. Yes, we are still firmly in Switch 2 land, full of hype and excitement.
Yes.
And we want to look forward.
Yes. To gaming.
To what games we can waste all our money on this time.
Yes.
Before we start, I do want to make a quick footnote.
Oh, no.
We record these videos in the past.
Oh, we do, yes.
So you're watching this in the future.
Yes.
Surprisingly, this isn't live.
No.
By the time this gets published,
yes,
we will probably have had crossed the threshold to 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Or
Maybe.
we're about to do it.
Yes.
I'm not sure which, but if we have already...
Yes. Thank you very much. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. And if we haven't, subscribe and get us there. So thank you very much.
Well, we will try to do something to mark it in the moment. So, this isn't the actual full
I still
celebration,
liked the idea that
of America Marathon.
Yeah, America World Marathon. I know it'll be a bit late. We'll be past the 100k mark at that point, but it would be cool to do a live stream.
There was someone on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky, by the way. If you're not there, come follow us there. Who I put up a screenshot of the subscriber count, and it said it was like 96669.
Yeah.
So it's a palindrome. It's forwards is backwards. I was like, my OCD brain loves this.
Yeah.
And they replied with like only 31,031 left to go or something like that. And I was like,
What?
I don't understand. It's clearly not. It's only like a couple of thousand to get. What? So I did this. I got my calculator, did the sums, and it was the countdown to 128,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I was like, that's actually genius. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, that's good.
Because that'll be 128k.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe that's the point at which you should
celebrate.
And then
the next mark is 1 million. Like, 280.
I feel so burnt out trying to get to 100. 1 million makes me feel a bit sick.
Yeah, that's it. Once we get to 100, we're just stopping.
I'm retiring.
Retiring. Yeah.
It's been a huge journey to get to this point.
It has.
It's very exciting.
Great.
Been great. It's been, I'm tired of your company now, though, to be honest.
I'm bored of me.
I'm just bored of you. That's done.
We need to put up one of those screens,
Oh, can we just green screen it?
Yeah.
Today's super awesome video sponsor is MOBAPAD. Long-time viewers will know that MOBAPAD is our absolute favourite brand for Switch controllers and Joy-Cons, so it's genuinely a real joy to promote them. Seriously, their Joy-Con alternatives are a genuine game changer. No more drifting, no more hand cramps, just awesomely spec'd, great-looking Joy-Cons. And the Pro controllers are just as epic too. They're packed with features and feel amazing in your hands, all at a really competitive price. So if you're looking for a Joy-Con alternative or a new Pro controller, check out MOBAPAD on the link below. Anyway, I wanted to kind of do a whole kind of long ramble podcast, which is what we do best, about the Switch 2, surprisingly.
Wow.
And specifically, the games we're most excited for that are going to be coming or could be coming to Switch 2.
Yes. I like how we both came up with the idea separately.
We've got this little notice board, like Trello board thing where we write down like video ideas and then we kind of decide which ones to do and we put notes in them and stuff. And we'd both written the same thing, just in a different title.
Yeah, and they were like right above and beneath each other. I hadn't even noticed.
I hadn't noticed
I was
either.
just throwing ideas in there. And
like, games I'm excited to see going to Switch 2. And you're like, games we need to see. Oh, we've come with the same thing here.
Yeah.
And there is a very, very long list. We started fantasizing about all the things that could be coming to Switch 2. And not the stuff that's already been announced.
No.
Because we already know what that is. Some of them is very exciting.
But of course, with the huge announcements like, Star Wars Outlaws, Elden Ring, all these kind of games, Cyberpunk, that are like massive, like big titles that are seen on other major platforms and PC and stuff. The doors are open pretty much.
It feels like it's open season for Nintendo to really embrace third-party developers and publishers, and like you say, like those big AAA experiences that we're kind of used to just seeing on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Now coming to Nintendo. This is the generation in which Nintendo go back to what they used to be, which is a serious home console system, rather than the more kind of Nintendo-y IPs that we've been used to recently.
Yeah.
And everyone I speak to always is like, well, is the Switch 2 going to be worth it? Because it's just like cartoony Nintendo stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I see those comments all the time. Like, I get it. That's what you've been used to seeing in the previous generation.
Yes.
But that's not to say that these games didn't exist on Switch as well, because there were some really big hitters. They just didn't land as well because the hardware couldn't perform.
Yes, precisely.
I think like Doom's always been there. Skyrim was there.
You've even got stuff like Alan Wake 1.
Alan Wake was there.
Something really random like that. To be on the Switch 1. It? I know it ran like, rubbish, but...
And sadly, that's one of the games that isn't backwardsly compatible onto Switch 2. So if you've got an Alan Wake 1 version, there's just an inherent problem with it. It won't run on Switch 2.
I don't think it runs on Switch 1.
To be fair.
I think that's the problem. They went, it's kind of doesn't work anyway, so...
So I don't want to focus on the ones we already know about.
Yes, we want to think about new stuff.
New stuff that could be coming, that's likely to be coming, like you say, in the wake of like Outlaws and...
In the wake of Alan.
In the wake of Alan.
Nice one, I like that.
My brain doesn't work anymore.
So let's kick it off with my first one.
Yeah.
What about Alan Wake 2?
Oh, wow, you've done it straight away.
Yeah. Well, in the wake of Alan, we might as well talk about the second Alan.
I think, firstly, we'll have to see an Alan Wake... We'll have to see an Alan Wake 1 remaster, Switch 2 version.
I don't think we will.
You don't think they'll boffer? They'll just go straight to 2.
You can play 2 without 1.
True.
It's much better to play 1 first, but you could go to 2.
It's a tough game to run.
Yeah.
It would be my problem with it.
Yeah. Well, I think at maxed out settings with all the ray tracing possible, because they love their ray tracing in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Reflections in the puddles.
It can be an extremely challenging game to run. However, I've not seen the minimum PC requirements. So it would make me think, actually, if it can play on Series S...
I was just literally going to say that. And I think with all of these, that's the question you need to answer. Can it run on Xbox Series S?
Mm-hmm.
If so, or Steam Deck, is it Steam Deck verified? Mm-hmm. If it's either of those, then you're going to be able to physically play it. Mm-hmm. I've not seen it on Series S is the thing, and I'm sure Digital Foundry would have done a video on it.
It's got to be. Xbox have that thing of like parity on both systems. Like you must have the game being able to run on both the Series S and X, or you don't release it at all.
I think if we saw Alan Wake 1 on Switch, then we're almost guaranteed to see Alan Wake 2 come to Switch 2.
I want to see basically everything from Remedy. Yeah. Like they're like one of my favorite game studios. I want to see all of it. Bring Control over, which is actually on Switch 1, by the way.
Is it
streaming?
Oh,
just
not
like
that.
Resident Evil 2.
Thankfully,
streaming.
And I mean, touch wood, we've not heard that word for a while yet on Nintendo Land.
Don't need to now.
But for a while, any kind of big releases was this game's available cloud streamed. Oh God,
burn it with fire.
Yeah, get rid of that. Jeez.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so, I'll kick off with my first one, and it's a right now one.
I know.
Oblivion Remastered.
Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be something beginning with F.
No,
that's later on in the show.
That's for the bingo card.
Okay, okay. Oblivion has to be there. It's got to be. I mean, Switch 1 launched with Skyrim.
Yes.
So it's got to be there. And what a perfect thing. Like being able to play Oblivion Remaster on the go.
Yeah.
Like that is going to be epic.
The one thing I will say is that there are significant performance issues on Remastered, even on the Series X.
Yeah, but I mean, I would argue that on the Asus ROG Ally X, it's totally playable.
Well, yeah.
With the settings that I give in our best settings guide.
That was very good.
But
the significant... but they're just... It's not like issues that you can get around. These are like hard baked into like the game's got problems.
It's not just Xbox.
Yeah.
It's on PC as well.
Yeah, the game's got issues, but those janky issues existed from the start.
Yeah.
I played a few more hours again a week ago. Mm-hmm. I did like a whole like Oblivion Gate and did that bit, and I'm done now. I'm kind of done with the remaster.
Cool.
But the performance issues that I was coming across were getting worse and worse.
No.
things that detract from gameplay significantly, that pull you out the story.
It's got to be patched out. They're pretty good at patching.
It's low res textures when you come into a new area, and then everything pops into high res.
Oh, we won't have that problem on Switch. They'll just remain low res.
Just the whole time. So it's a kind of a loading time problem.
Okay.
I think maybe they are trying to minimize the loading screens, the loading time screens.
Yeah.
And if they had just made them a bit longer, and everything loaded in high res and things didn't drop into frame, then I would be more forgiving of it. Because it's Oblivion, I'm used to those loading screens.
Yeah.
I kind of expect it. I open a door to a new area, it's going to be a loading screen. I expect it. It's a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'd be way more forgiving that if that loading screen took a bit longer, but everything looked great as soon as it was loaded in, and maybe even delay it just like a couple of frames later as well, so things didn't drop into the frame as well.
Yeah, I think that's just because it's ultimately the same old game at heart. That's just polished. But yeah, I definitely think, like, without a doubt, we're going to see Oblivion on there, and I think that's going to be fantastic for people that haven't played it and want to play it handheld.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to play it, like, I don't know, on the train of work or something, it's going to be great.
The other one, I'm just going to jump in because you thought I was going to say it. And it's time to stamp your 128 KB bingo cards. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yes, because we know Remake is coming.
Remake is coming.
It's been official.
But Remake was a PS4 game, so it's not a shock. Rebirth will be a real challenge. Because on PS5 it's a real challenge.
But again, I'd argue, and I'll bring this up now forevermore until we test it ourselves, is Star Wars Outlaws is on there. Well, therefore Rebirth, will totally be on there.
And the other one with Rebirth, it wasn't a ray tracing problem that was causing performance issues. It was a fidelity issue, fidelity versus frame rates. And primarily, to get it to run at a decent, it felt like about 45 kind of FPS. I didn't get frame counter on my PS5. You had to have it in performance mode, and that meant that the upscaling was rough as hell.
FSR upscaling.
Just not nice.
Software-based upscaling.
Yeah.
What have we got on Switch 2?
DSS.
Hardware-based upscaling.
So there's an argument to say that this could potentially look better on the Switch 2 than it did on the PS5.
That is going to be hilarious if so. And I can't wait for Digital Foundry to do that side-by-side comparison.
Yeah. I think there's going to be areas, obviously, where the PS5 is going to be able to outpower.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's still more powerful as a system.
Well, and also, it's hard. It's like literally hard baked into the wall all the time. You can run at a higher watch. There's some things it can just brute force through.
But we're a much newer chip on the Switch 2.
And primarily the fidelity issue was that it was just a really bad Vaseline upscale.
Yeah, and performance mode was like...
Performance mode was horrible. You couldn't play it in quality mode because frame rates were just way too low.
Yes, it was horribly chuggy.
If it comes soon enough, it will potentially be enough to make me play it again.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
A lot of the games that have already been announced are exciting enough on the Switch 2 to make me want to play them again.
Yes.
There's just stuff I just want to jump into and go, I want to play that.
And the fact that it's handheld as well, you can just pull it out, jump straight in with no loading.
Yeah, play it on your TV. For me, my situation, I play all my games here at the studio. And the idea of handheld gaming is cool because I can take it home.
Yes.
The idea of it being on the Switch specifically is like I can play it great on the TV and then take the same game home in exactly the same state
without any need of internet connection.
Yeah, like that actually it solves such a big
winning.
Yeah, it solves a very specific me problem.
Yeah, well, I think it solves that same issue for most people.
Yeah,
and the same with the traveling thing. If you're on a train or whatever, you're not relying on a stable internet connection.
I'm gonna knock it over the net to one that you brought up a second ago. I've written them down. You don't have them in front of you.
It's great. I'm just sat here like...
It's your favourite game of all time. Recent time.
Is it one of those hentai games?
It actually is.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Booby Blade.
Yes.
Yeah. Stellar Blade. Yay. Yes. That I would love to see. Now, I'm really upset because I bought it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I then give it to you.
I've not played it.
I've sold my PlayStation. Yeah, it's coming out on PC in June, so I'm going to buy it again.
Yeah.
And if it does eventually come out on Switch, I'm going to have to buy it for the third time.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do allow it.
Come on, shift up. shift up and release it.
We can't figure out how tied down this is to PlayStation.
Yeah. Is it a PlayStation Studios game? Like,
Well,
is it
Shift Up
locked
are
to it?
independent of PlayStation.
Yeah, which...
Because obviously they were a mobile developer to start with.
Yeah, they paired with PlayStation for this title.
For this title.
But then they've got, they're releasing it on PC.
Yeah. So now it's opened up.
Yeah, so is it gone past, because it's over 12 months old now?
Yeah.
So is it that like PlayStation exclusive for a year and now they can do whatever they want, or I don't understand?
I think one of the indicators to that will be if we see an Xbox port of it.
Yeah. I doubt we will.
But I don't think we will.
No.
And the other thing is, I think we're more likely to see Microsoft and Sony games coming to Switch than we are
each
other.
Yeah, I would
Way
agree
more
with
likely.
that. I would agree with that.
Because for some reason they're worried about each other more than they're worried about Nintendo, when really they should be most worried about Nintendo.
Yes, I think it's only on Sony, and it only ever has been. I think Xbox have always reached out, tried to collaborate, and
They've
whatever.
always been partners.
Sony have gone, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
It would be phenomenal to see it on Switch. I think that game specifically handheld would be a real moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. For that mass market, because obviously when we get it on PC, I will do it on the Asus ROG Ally. I'll play on there, but I'd love to see what it's like on Switch, because again, most people are going to have a Switch 2 versus a PC handheld. So, being able to, because this game's great. Storyline, the setting, the music, like the gameplay, like just I love everything about it. Photo mode, the mods. Whereas you don't even need mods in that game. There's a naked suit from the get-go. But yeah, it's such a good game. Like, I can't wait to replay it anyway, but I'd love to see it on Switch 2.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it there.
A game that I'm surprised works on Series S.
Surprised anything works on Series S.
And I'm surprised it works because it's from Ubisoft.
Oh, no.
Well, we're getting Outlaws, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So if we're getting Outlaws, then we're probably going to get Shadows as well, aren't we?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows.
It works on Series S. It doesn't work great on Series S, but it does run consistently.
Okay.
I watched the Digital Foundry deep dive of it.
Oh,
and
wow.
They were doing a comparison between PS5, Series X, and Series S.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you get a consistent 30 FPS on it, and they use like a scaled back ray tracing. So global illumination, I think they use.
Series S is basically Nintendo mode.
And that's where my head's at. Like,
if any game can run there.
I looked at the Series S version and I go, it's all right.
Yeah.
If you had the choice between, do I play it on Nintendo or do I play it on my PS5 Pro?
Yeah,
no-brainer.
Yeah, no-brainer. But again, the Switch 2 is going to be a lot of people's only way of playing.
And it's going to have the biggest player base of all of these.
Yes, it will, by far, yeah.
So if Outlaws runs on Switch 2 and Shadows runs on Series S, then I think we're going to see Assassin's Creed coming to
I think someone
Switch 2.
leaked a rumour that it was supposedly going to be coming to Switch 2. Like, I saw it on Twitter, but, that's all Trust Me Bro sources.
I was just going to say, was that Trust Me Bro?
Yeah, it was Trust Me Bro. So, if you trust that bro, then we know that Assassin's Creed
If the bro's
Shadows...
you, then I trust it.
It was me. I leaked it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
With no evidence. It was just a Trust Me Bro.
A hugely demanding game. Some epic physics in that game, as well as
love that
great use
about
of
that
like,
game.
Yeah.
I've not played the game because the game just makes me want to play Ghost of Tsatsuma.
It has that, unfortunately, yeah.
So I want to play that instead of Shadows, but maybe one day I'll get around to it.
Well, you've just said it, and it's jumping forward a little bit, but we might as well go there now. Like, Ghost of Tsushima, will we see that on Switch 2?
I mean, it's 5 years old now?
Yep.
It's
on PC.
It's on PC.
They've definitely opened it up. It is a very PlayStation game, though. It's very tied down.
Who makes it again? It's I've just gone mind blank.
I don't know.
It is a PlayStation studio.
Yeah, it is PlayStation. It's a PlayStation studio.
I can't remember. I'll remember at the end of this and just blurt it out.
Yeah.
I Punch Up or whatever it is. Oh, no. It's got Punch in it. Oh, no. I can't think of what it is. Punch Up. What am I on about? It's not that. It's got Punch in it. I swear it's got Punch in it. Someone comment down below and tell me who makes this.
Do you know, I'm going to Google it.
Just Google it.
But
I want to
not
know.
Tell you.
It's not Punch Up, but it's something with a punch in it. I swear it is. And if it's not, then I have no idea what I'm on right now. Come on.
Oh, it has got punch in it.
It does, doesn't it? Come on, tell me.
What happens when you punch someone they're not expecting it?
They cry. Knockout. Sucker Punch.
You sucker punch them.
Yay! That's it. Sucker Punch Studios. There we go. Yeah. PlayStation Studios, isn't it?
Will we see that Switch 2?
I don't know, but it would run. It runs really good on the, lower performing hardware on PC side.
Yeah.
Runs great on the Ally X.
Also, they've got Ghosts of Yeti.
Yeti. Yeah, Yeti, yeah.
Coming this year. I believe it's this year, isn't it?
It is end of this year. Yeah, they confirmed the date. £220 special edition.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep.
What do you get for? Just tell me you get like a big statue or something.
I'd be surprised if you even get the game.
That sucks. So £220.
Yeah.
What's it in America? We're gonna be like
20
with
grand?
the tariffs. Yeah, 20,000. Who knows? Jesus.
I don't know.
That's hellish.
Yeah.
I'm going to get onto PlayStation later because there's kind of like a bigger question there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
But I would love to see that game on Switch 2.
Would be cool. It would totally run because again on Ally X,
and
it
totally
runs
fits.
really good.
It does run really good on Ally X.
Really good on Ally X.
How is it on Steam Deck? Do you know? Yeah, that's not important anymore, is it? Is the Steam Deck just irrelevant now?
No, it's not relevant at all.
I'm shooting fire here.
I know you are.
Yeah.
But in terms of like modern releases, Switch 2 is going to run better. It will.
That's hilarious. We did do a video. I believe it was the live one. I get them all muddled up in my head.
They're all videos, yeah.
Talking about Microsoft games coming to Switch 2.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And like Microsoft going handheld sooner than you think. So we do have to wait for, is it end of June? June, they're doing a developer direct. I think that's when we're going to get the announcement from Microsoft.
It's going to be every game coming to Switch 2.
That is going to be wild. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm going to start that off with the ones that just stick out recently that I'd be excited to see, because we did talk about some other ones like Halo Master Chief.
Yeah.
Will we see Flight Sim and all that madness?
Yeah.
But straight up, Starfield.
Yes.
That's going to be wild.
Yeah.
But again, Series S. In fact, I played the whole of Starfield, including like hundreds of hours of side quests. I think I did like over 200 hours or so.
Yeah.
On the Xbox Series S.
You did. Yeah, and it was pretty much that then made you want to buy the Series X.
It was. Yeah, it was.
not in a bad way. I don't mean like you hated it that much. No, I mean like, that was your first foray into like Xbox.
It was dipping my toe in Xbox world. And I'll say, I actually had a very good experience.
Yeah.
It at no point in it was I was like, this is so bad, I need to get the X.
No.
So again, if that was my experience, then why would it be any different for people playing it on Switch 2?
And again, DLSS.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine playing that game handheld personally.
I can because I have. Because I used to stream it onto the Steam Deck, and then I've played it a bit on the Ally X. So yeah, totally.
Was it all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't know why I get a bit of handheld dread when the games are too big somehow.
Yeah, you don't need to, especially when you like people. I remember when we first were playing on the Ally X, and you were a bit sus about the 7-inch screen.
Yeah,
like, is it too small? But then we played the entirety of Gears of War.
You get sucked in. It's fine.
5 was it?
Yeah,
whatever
Gears,
it was.
Yeah, Gears 5.
Yeah, we played the whole thing. You get sucked in, didn't you? But now look at the Switch 2.
Bigger screen.
It's like, I'll just call it 8 inches because it's 7.9, but 8. That is such a bigger screen. Like, really isn't. When we got hands on at the Switch 2 event, like that screen, you're in it. Yeah, you are in it. So imagine Starfield. Yeah.
Yes. Did you ever learn to speak?
No, I actually used to speak better when I was younger. As I've got older, I've developed some sort of speech impediment.
That's true. Yeah. We could deep dive into a lot of these, but there's a few games from the Xbox stables that we've not talked about. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
I think that
feels handmade for Nintendo.
It feels like it would be a great shout. I don't know how well it runs on Series S.
No,
imagine not very well.
Well, it's struggling on the Series X.
It does struggle on the Series X. I've not tried it on the Ally X.
Let's be fair. It doesn't struggle. Struggle makes it sound like it's dropping frames all over the place.
Yeah, no, it runs fine.
It runs smoothly.
Yeah, it runs fine.
Just
not great.
Here's an interesting thought. Okay. The upscaling's the issue.
It is. That's right. Yeah. And what's Xbox have? Software-based upscaling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's using FSR.
So will it?
Might run better on Switch 2.
I think if you were to compare Switch 2 to the Series S version, I think it will look better.
Yeah, as we've seen with Streets of Fighter.
Street Fighter 6.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Looks better on the Switch 2 than Series S.
That's true.
So there's some really interesting kind of weirdness. I feel like, and we said it before with the Switch 2 announcement, that Nintendo have started the next generation. So there's this weird kind of crossover where in some situations it will be better than
the Series S,
the established consoles.
Yeah. It's odd, isn't it?
Or the PS5.
Wow.
I'm just going to say, I think Rebirth, if they release Rebirth on there, I think it will look better than the base PS5 in performance mode.
Yeah, it might
just because of how well it's going to upscale things.
Yes, yeah, precisely. Maybe even better upscaling than Pisser on the PS5 Pro.
Well, Pisser's broken.
It's not very good, is it?
According to Mark Cerny, it's still broken.
Yeah.
They're still trying to train FSR, isn't it?
Yeah, they're trying to steal FSR 4 from AMD.
Yeah, so it's uncooked. They've shipped an unfinished product there. It'll catch up. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And it will get really good.
By making it FSR 4,
Yeah, exactly that. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 feels handmade for
I
Switch.
think that'd be great handheld. That is the perfect game because it's such a big RPG. People want to play that kind of thing on the TV and then leave and play it handheld. Or if you want to go to bed and your missus like, I want to go to bed, and you can sit there and play it on your handheld. Do you know what I mean? It'd be wicked.
Turn-based combat. It's just everything about it feels right.
Yeah, it does feel right.
Another one that could come, which would be really interesting, is Diablo 4.
That's going to. Like, Diablo 3 is on Switch 2, Switch 1, and I played a lot of that. Diablo 3 on Switch.
Didn't you get the collector's edition on Switch?
No.
Or was that the PC version?
I got PC. Yeah.
Okay.
I got PC stuff. But on Switch, I've actually played through the game multiple times, split screen co-op on Switch.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's not split screen, it's shared screen. But, you know, like I've played it to death on the Switch and it's such a good game. I love Diablo. So Diablo 4, absolutely no, like I've got no concern about this. This is hands down going to be on Switch 2. It's going to be. It's going to be great. Yeah.
It just feels, again, it feels like it's made for it, doesn't it? It just feels like an obvious
runs
one.
Great on PC handhelds.
There's some that aren't announced in the Microsoft stables that aren't even announced yet for Microsoft.
Yeah.
The new Fable 2026. It did. One thing I will say is it did look quite full on.
It looks very next gen.
Yeah.
You know, like it looks next gen for Xbox.
Yes.
This is like, I'm going to be playing it on PC.
Which I think is why they delayed it.
Yeah.
They haven't said exactly why. They just needed more time to develop it. But yet they showed some gameplay and I'm like, I think they're struggling to get it to run on Series S.
On X.
Maybe even on X as well, because it did look amazing.
It looks incredible.
So whether they actually will be able to physically play that on Switch 2 is a different story.
I'm hesitant on this one.
Yeah.
I am. I would love nothing more than to have Fable on a Switch system.
But here's the thing. If they get it running on Series S, then it'll be able to run on Switch 2.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's the bit I think they're working. Or maybe will it possibly be the first release that doesn't come to Series S?
Nah, Xbox,
they're going to keep that.
Yeah, Xbox will keep that apparently.
The other one, which was a weird announcement, and we've heard nothing about it since, is Perfect Dark. I look behind you because the original box is behind you.
Yeah, we saw that whatever game like showcase was, and they were just showing some random cyberpunk looking game, and then at the end went Perfect Dark, and we were like, what? Hang on a second.
Perfect
Rewind?
Perfect Dark's coming back.
Yeah. And then they've not said anything about it. And that was like, when was that? It feels like a long time ago.
Feels like a year ago, maybe.
Feels like longer.
Yeah, it might have been.
Like, it feels like a long time ago.
Well, when I'll skip ahead a little bit. When we were looking at this, I was like, what about those new Sega games?
Yeah, I was just thinking
that they recently announced, and you were like, that was 2023, AJ.
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
What's happened to them in general then? Where are they? But obviously, Sega and Nintendo are now
They're buddies now, aren't they?
They're like best mates.
Yeah.
We've even got the Sega Mega Drive controller made by Nintendo.
Yeah, the Nintendo Sega Mega Drive.
And of course, all the Genesis games are on Switch Online. I don't even understand what's happening there, but it happened. There's those new Sega, if you forgot about it or missed it, there was 5 new games announced by Sega. It was old IPs that have been rebooted.
Oh, yes.
And they'll day one be Switch 2.
They're totally going to bring them over.
And some
Perfect
really
games.
cool ones that look amazing. Jet Set Radio.
Yes.
Crazy Taxi.
Yes.
Golden Axe.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage and a new Shinobi game as well. And some of my favourite game IPs of all time as well.
All of those are like, well, they've just cherry picked like the best Sega games, haven't they? Really,
peak Genesis and Dreamcast era games there.
It's going to be wicked.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll be day one Switch 2.
They have to be
because of the relationship between Sega and Nintendo.
Yes, yeah. And they'll be perfect games. I mean, think of like Jet Set Radio with that cell shaded graphics and stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
It's going to fit right at home on that. And just thinking of that, because Jet Set Radio makes me think of it, one that we didn't include on this list. I was thinking Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, my head just went there as well.
Yeah.
Cell-shaded graphics.
That's got to come
music-based. Yeah, got to come.
It is a wicked game. And like on the Ally X, for example, you can run that at 120 FPS at like 1080p. So the Switch 2 is totally going to be able to handle that.
That's how I experienced it. It's handheld on the Ally X and had the best time. In fact, it's so much better handheld than it was on the console.
I was just about to say that. I had way much more fun playing it handheld.
Definitely.
It's really weird.
I think it's how it looks, the vibrancy and everything when you're on a smaller screen. And I've said it before, and I can't explain it properly, but there's something more tangible about playing handheld. It lends itself to certain games way better. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't.
But things like Hi-Fi Rush is really good because you kind of... It feels like you're touching the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
It feels like I'm looking through your windows again. Just peeking through your curtain in your garden.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Just this.
Yeah. Brushing a branch against it just to make it less suspicious.
Yeah, there's something more tangible about it.
No, I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah. Hi-Fi Rush, absolutely.
Nice, vibrant game.
Oh,
if they put that HDR support in there for the Switch 2, it's going to be wicked.
Absolutely wicked. So let's go backwards then. We'll go full back around. Sony.
Yes.
Obviously, we touched on Ghost of Tsushima. There's a bigger question there. It's like, do we see Sony starting to port some of their older titles to Switch 2 as we've seen them start to port to the PC?
Yeah, I really hope so. I mean, you look at Switch already. What do we just get? Lego Horizon.
And that's the cracked door. Because before, I would just outright say no. We're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
But of course, we're seeing the Lego Horizon games on Switch. So the door's ajar for them.
Yeah.
And that was the kind of first one I wrote down was Horizon. Because we already have the Lego games. Are we going to see those? Because we've seen the Horizon ports to
That's
PC.
like 2018 or something, isn't it?
They're not losing anything here.
No, they're just gaining. And again, they know that Switch 2 is possibly going to be the biggest player base of any console. So they would be kind of silly not to put it on there.
Well, yes and no. I mean, Microsoft have that approach because they don't have the player base already.
That's true. They want to be the publisher.
They want to be a publisher.
Yeah.
Sony don't as much. They definitely didn't in the past, but they are opening up to it with the PC thing. I think they look at PC and go, that doesn't cannibalize a lot of our sales. And we open ourselves up to the biggest player base, which is the PC market. Especially... Definitely a player base that spends the most money. And I think you'd be right to argue the same about the Switch 2. I don't think there's a huge overlap there.
No.
There'd be gaining. It just depends how open to it Sony actually are.
And I don't think that they need to release day one brand new releases there. But if they started putting older titles like the original Horizon over... that might then entice some Switch 2 players to go, you know what? These Sony games are actually really cool.
Yeah.
Let's buy a PS5 or whatever for the latest release.
Which leads you to think about the other kind of really closed off PlayStation 1, Spider-Man.
Yes.
It was on GameCube.
It was. I had that on GameCube. I loved it.
And the Switch 2 is basically the new GameCube.
It is indeed, yes.
It was obviously on, I think it was on GameCube before Sony owned it.
Yeah, it was.
Can't
It was
think
2002 or whatever it was.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
Handheld again.
Yeah. Even if it was just like Spider-Man 1 remastered or whatever,
Miles Morales,
whatever it might be, that'd be wicked.
Yeah.
Nintendo people would love that.
They would love that. God of War
would be cool.
Cool combat, fits again.
Still not played the new ones. I've got them on PC.
I've not played them yet either.
I've not played them yet.
I don't know why.
No.
The biggest one I think would be hilarious. Which
What's that?
is the most Nintendo game PlayStation have ever made.
Oh, Astrobot.
Astrobot.
That would
It is
fit
Mario.
so good. Like Astrobot's that new one, whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Like that would be such a cool game.
Yeah.
Handheld. Like
And it's a great advert for PlayStation.
yeah,
I think
because
that
it
game
is the whole game is just a PlayStation 5 advert.
Yeah.
Like
It'd be beautiful. It's such a Nintendo game, so obviously
Yeah.
in their wheels. Ghost of Tsushima,
yeah.
we've talked about. Ghost of Tsatsuma, that was me kind of
Yeah.
mixing the two up.
I was going to say, what
and
was
then
that one?
obviously you got Yetai coming. I don't think we'll see
Yeah.
Yotai on Switch 2 anytime soon.
No, we might get Yokai.
Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank as well.
Yes, Ratchet and Clank would be a good one because that's a very good game, really nice and vibrant, very Nintendo-esque.
Very Nintendo.
Like, and it's a wicked game, you know, Rift
And it's
apart.
great handheld as well.
Yeah, and they are utilising all the fast SSD speed
Yeah.
with the SD card Express with like reads up to like 880 megabytes per second. We'd be able to do those Rift jumps
Yeah.
like, without any loading.
It depends on how open does this PlayStation become.
I really hope they open the door.
I'm not holding my breath though.
Even if it's not everything, even if it's just select titles, like
Yeah.
here's Ratchet and Clank, and that's kind of it, or
Yeah.
whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see them do something.
Maybe the reason they've deleted Sackboy from everything.
Yes, because they've sold it to Nintendo. Nintendo Sackboy.
I can't believe they sacked off Sackboy so brutally.
What's with them? Yeah, they were like, look at this little Big Planet thing. Everyone loved it, and then they
Amazing.
didn't bother making a game for like 15 years, and now they've sacked him off.
And just replace him with Sackboy 2.0, which is
They
Astrobot.
literally made a Sackboy game for PS5.
Did they really? Is that
Yeah,
what-
it was a UK studio. Like I played it. It's great. Sackboy's Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I forgot all about
Yeah,
it.
it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
It's on PC as
in
well.
my head as well, and maybe it just shows my age, but in my head, he is the PlayStation mascot.
Yeah, well, he's meant to be, but
Yeah.
they've just, chucked him in the bin and replaced him with Astrobot. They've never really had like a solid
They've
like
never stuck at
mascot.
it, no.
They're like a bit like flippant.
Yeah, I guess Lara Croft was it, maybe? But they didn't own these things. This is the hilarious
yeah.
thing. Lara Croft and Crash
Yeah.
were
Well,
like, in my head, they were like the PlayStation mascots.
yeah, you think of that, yeah, but no.
Doesn't Microsoft own Crash now?
Think
Because
so.
isn't it a
Yes,
Blizzard game?
It's Activision.
Activision.
Yeah. So yeah, Microsoft own it. Yeah, so on Xbox. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
That's weird
Yeah.
how this all works around. There's some other big third-party ones as well I want to touch on real quickly. There's probably some others. I want to know in the comments whilst we're doing this.
Yeah.
Write down what games you'd be excited to see from any of the stables. But yeah, just write down what you'd be excited to see, especially if we've not covered it. The first one, which I think would be just phenomenal, is the new Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, number 3.
Turn-based. It sits alongside what we're talking about with Claire Obscura.
Yes.
Turn-based, epic game.
Yeah.
Game of the year 2023, was it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
That-
Wicked.
Be fantastic. And it feels like it fits. A lot of these, we've picked them out specifically because they feel like they fit.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2.
I really
We've
hope
said
that's...
this, didn't we,
Yeah,
before?
we said it at the beginning, but yeah, I do hope we see that.
And the other one, which is going to be hilarious. It's going to break the internet. It's
Go on.
GTA 6.
Oh,
Do you think
GTA 6.
think it'll be as good as the definitive edition?
Yeah. Well, again, if it can run on Series S, then it will run on Switch too.
Now, I actually went back because we talked about this in one of the videos where I was contemplating selling my PS5 and then someone said, but what about GTA 6?
And then I said,
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to be on Xbox as
Yeah,
well.
so I went back and I actually looked and it's like, and it was.
Yeah.
It was
Dual release.
dual release
Yeah.
at the same time. So will GTA 6 be a triple release? Will it be a multi-platform from day one? Well, it definitely won't be PC day one.
No, because they're annoying like that.
No. But will it be PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo?
Maybe. I can't. For some reason, I have this weird feeling.
Yeah.
And I can't see it happening. But maybe. I mean, we're in weird times, Like maybe. I don't know. There is GTA on Switch,
Yeah.
but there's not GTA 5. I would say it's more plausible to see 5 come over first.
Yes.
GTA 5,
Yeah,
with the online thing, and then see potentially GTA 6
And
as
they've-
they re-release
they've
it every
moved
year.
it. Yeah, they've just moved it onto Game Pass now as well, haven't they? So
Yeah,
you'll be able to
number
play it on
5.
Series S. I imagine it's going to be possible.
Maybe.
It might be a struggle. It depends how big they make this game.
Yeah.
How detailed it is and stuff.
It's going to be intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. But it might be like the only way to play it on console is like PS5 Pro.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean? Just like actually not that it's locked down to that.
It's the only way to play
It's the only way to play it unless you're playing it on PC, which won't be day one. You know, it might be like chugging hard.
They release it as a way to sell PS5
Yes.
Pros.
Yeah. They've got
for £800.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, not into that.
No, me either. So I mean, that's a dodgy one. There's another game I'd love to see on all consoles, and obviously would strand over to the Switch 2 as well. Would be World of Warcraft. That'd be so good.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised we've not actually seen it yet.
Well, there's already controller mods on PC. Because everyone's like, oh, you because generally you play, if you don't know World of Warcraft, you play all your hotkeys and stuff on the number keys and the F keys, basically, for all your skills and spells. I used to use a Razer Naga mouse with a number pad on the side of the mouse.
Oh, wow.
So a full like number pad. So you can bind all your spells and stuff. I used to play a lot of MMOs. But World of Warcraft specifically is owned by Xbox now, Microsoft, you know, they have Blizzard. I'd love to see that come over to consoles because it might boost the numbers back up. It's an old game now. We were talking 2005, you know, but
it's still got a very loyal support.
Yeah, big player base. It's still like one of the top 3 or 5 MMOs on the planet. And if it opened its doors up like Final Fantasy XIV did on console, I think it would get a big resurgence. And to be honest, I would probably start playing again if I could play a handheld on my Switch too.
Would they include it in Game Pass?
Yeah. They would. I reckon. It's difficult because it's a monthly sub. Yeah. So maybe not. But why not? Like maybe they make all the games free on Game Pass, but you have to pay the sub extra. But on Switch, it would be buy the game and then pay your subscription.
There's other kind of like notable games that are just like popping up into my head as we're talking about it. Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2.
Wow.
I think
that would be cool, but I think it runs like crap on the Series S.
It does, yeah. It's pretty harsh.
But talking about Final Fantasy 14, what about that? That's on Xbox and PlayStation, isn't it? And that's an MMO.
It's huge.
Is Elder Scrolls Online on console? I always used to play it on PC.
It must be.
I think it's on console.
Yeah.
What about that? Like, I'd love to see an MMO over. What about the new Dune? You know, like, okay, we won't go on that yet. We could talk about that when it's near release. But
that's okay. The new Dune, we were both very excited about the prospect of this. We're like, that's an MMO. We're both going to jump into it.
Yes, day one.
Amazing. It looks huge.
Yeah, after that live stream they did where they didn't even know what they were talking about.
It looks ropey, doesn't it?
Made me question everything. But that's supposedly coming to console.
Yeah.
It's PC release first, but supposedly coming on console. What about Switch 2? I'd love to see some big open world like MMOs on Switch 2 as well.
Do you think it's everything now?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything's open for it. I really think so. Again, they've set the bar by Star Wars Outlaws, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, off the bat.
Yeah.
Everything goes now. Everything goes.
It's really exciting.
Down to whether it's locked on a system. Like I'm looking at Sony only.
It's only Sony that locks things down.
Everything Xbox will come to Switch too because Xbox need to be the publisher now and sell all the games.
Is exciting.
Yeah, it's massively exciting.
Everything third party, they'll be looking at it and going, well, it's a massive player base. We have to be there.
Yep.
So it's just the Sony IPs that have got the big question mark.
It's just Sony, yeah.
And I think some of those old ones, I think they'll trial it. Like they did with PC, they'll try some older ones. And maybe the Spider-Man games, they'll dip in there.
Wicked.
And even that would be exciting to see. Yeah. And I guess dependent on pricing, I would probably play it.
Yeah.
Dependent on pricing.
Yeah.
Big question mark there. But if they price it at like 70 quid, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But if it was like 30, 40...
I think they're reasonably priced on PC.
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine it'd take that much porting to do from a PC port or the PlayStation port over.
They're all basically PCs.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't imagine it would take like loads of effort. So I reckon they'll be reasonably priced if it's an older game.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's genuinely exciting to look forward. I'd love to know what
Massively,
games you're looking forward to playing on Switch 2.
Yes.
Both that's been announced. Which ones are you just excited for? And fantasizing like we are now, which ones would you love to see?
Yes.
Let us know down in the comments down below. And whilst you're down and digging around, make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Switch 2 and handheld gaming content in general. And what else could they do?
Become a member and come chat to us on our private Discord. And don't see these videos early anymore, apparently.
We do. We will when we go back to like a normal schedule.
When we can, yeah.
And if we've already broken 100,000, we love you for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Big
and
love.
if not, then subscribe.
So we can.
Yes.
So until the next time.
Bye.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you
See
break
you.
my heart.
I can't even remember what it is now. Is it?
Have a nice day.
Oh, that's it. Have a nice day.